We're going to see if she comes in. Sorry, I just exceeded my time limit with my Zoom. See if you come in here, but I will continue on if not, and just send you the link. Okay, so I'm just going to continue and then you can review this. It looks like some of the image, because I have a text wrap on that, that's affecting the alignment of your type as well. So just kind of make sure everything's bumping nicely together here. Show guides. There we go. See if you come back in here. I'm just going to make this a little smaller so we have a little bit more control over the text, because it looks like we got more text that we need to put in here anyway. So I'm going to make this a little smaller. How much text? I don't know. Let's see here. Looks like we got a lot. There we go. So you're going to have to make this significantly smaller. Now, as far as, making your layout more exciting, you can add elements, simple elements. And I think I was saying this before I got so rudely interrupted by you getting kicked out. Typically designers, when they're working on articles or magazines, publications, what they'll do is they'll kind of use Illustrator and they'll use Photoshop and they'll use, those types of programs to pull different graphics in. Now, because this is a class that you want to really be kind of getting a better handle of, the style sheets and all of that, we're going to be more focused on the simple elements. And then you'll get to that point where you'll elevate your designs going forward. But, even the simplest elements like you have here are nice. What you could do is you could kind of play around with this where, maybe this becomes bigger and bleeds off the page. You can play with opacity. So like, let's go to your properties panel. And in your properties panel, you can dial the opacity down. And you can kind of make some, I'm going to take the drop shadow off for this though. You can kind of do some really cool stuff. Opacity. I have to ungroup this here. I think as it's grouped, my drop shadow won't delete. Okay, and then you can kind of play around with like the opacity, and then you can use those same elements throughout to make it unified by just even enlarging it even bigger. So let's do like 300%, and I'm just scaling this. And then send it back. I would probably make it even bigger. Hold the shift key down, you can scale it even bigger. And then I would make it even more opaque because the transparency will always print darker. So you really want to stick between, I'd say like 10% if you're using it behind copy. And then send it to back. And then I'll show you what the trim view looks like. So it gives a more exciting look to the page. It's still readable. You could probably even go darker or lighter for this. I did 10%. You could probably do like 8% would be good. But it makes it a little bit more exciting. You could bleed this off to the left and to the right. Make this a little skinnier. I'll just pull everything up just a little just to get more balance. And why not pull this all the way to the right? You can center this. Bring forward so we can see it. Make sure it's not, the hyphenation isn't getting all screwed up here. And then center in your box. And then you could just repeat this same pattern on the two articles, you know, this page and then the next, by just pasting that, copy paste it. I'm going to group it first. I wouldn't put this on the third page just because it's going to be a different article. But you can, you know, kind of implement this here and it kind of gets a good start. And just, you know, send a back or object send a back so that it goes behind your article. So that's, you know, one way that you can make it a little bit more exciting and different. It's a little bit bigger. I probably would dial the opacity down here as well. And maybe use the same width here for your two columns. Just align that together. And then center this on the page. It looks like it's aligning it to the baseline grid. So you may need to undo that part. Okay, so, you know, that kind of makes it more exciting looking. Let me pull this up front. There we go. Kind of makes it more dynamic and it pulls these two pages together. When you get to this page, we could definitely cut this part off, you know, where it kind of goes to the next page. That's fine. We can show you how to do that. But for the most part, you know, that's how you can kind of work it. So it's a little bit more exciting. Just a little FYI, you want to make sure you're paying close attention to, and I do see some hyphens going on, but it's not as bad. These types of bad breaks. So if this is happening, what I like to do is go up in the rag and say, okay, what can be bumped down? Because we don't want a widow happening here or a bad break. So I'm going to put my cursor and my type tool right in front of this to word and do a soft return. And that's going to bump it down to the next line. And then I could probably do a soft return here. A soft return there. Just remember, once you put those soft returns in there, which is a shift return, that if you ever rearrange your copy, that might look weird. You might have to delete those out. But see, now I have more than one word on a very ending of a paragraph, which is perfect. It's more balanced. The rag reads better. It's overall more balanced looking. So pay attention to that as you're going through here. Like for instance, this is a widow. And I would just take my cursor in front of the word to, shift return that. Shift return in front of the, so it bumps that down. And there you go. And then as you go forward, put the table of contents in, also your parent pages. You're going to want to open up and do your page numbers. And I did a demo on that in your first demo for the first part of this project. So if you need to review it, it's in announcements. I did post that demo. All right. Sorry, I lost you. I'm going to send this to you. It'll be in 2 parts. And let me know if you have any questions. In the meantime, it looks like this is snapping perfectly now on the alignment for the first page and the second page. Just go through what I told you to do. And then if you have problems, let me know and we'll go forward from there.